I'm just going to give you my thoughts and my explanation on the gap and crap and the gap and extension. I just want you to be aware that I'm no legal advisor on the stock market or investments. I'm just doing this to express my patterns, my setups, and what I've learned from Jay in mentoring. And this is typically Jay's setups, and they have been working. They're very powerful. They're very, very powerful. So I'm going to start off with NBY because it did two of the gapping crap and the gapping session. So it did the same thing, and this is what you really have to be aware of. Okay, so I got in short here during promo market. This is a distribution pattern which I love. This is a very strong setup. So pop up, lower high, and found a support here. It found a support, crack the support, retest the support, so your support becomes resistance. This is beautiful. When I see this wick, I'm saying, oh yes, this is going to the J lines. So this is a very powerful setup. I usually trim off half here on the J lines. I have to, it's my obligation. And then as soon as I made a higher low, it came up, cracked the J lines again, I'm out. I just do this trend here, cracked another little nice setup here, boom, out. So this is a nice setup. Then at this point of the time, it's also 8 o'clock. This 8 o'clock is those Robinhood traders, all those new platforms that don't have access at 7. And these are like the actual retailers are trying to get in on the move to VWAP or whatever. 8 o'clock is like, where am I? Am I under the J lines? If I'm cruising down lower, cool, I'm staying in. But if I'm reclaiming the J lines by 8, I'm like, you know what, I'm out. It's pre-market. This is lovely pizza money. Nice start. This was Monday morning, 7 o'clock was great. So at this point of the state, I have to trade, sorry, I'm looking for, I'm not trading anything under 2.5 million float. If I do, I'm going to be very frigging cautious. It has to be those typical gap and crappers. I want literally over 3 million float. I want to see dilution. I want to see the market cap like normally between 20 million and 60 million. But I want to see like in the accumulated deficit, I want to see like a shit ton of deficit. Like like a company that has barely no cash to survive. And these are my typical setups that I love to play. So at the open, what we identify here, I want you to keep this here. I always like low of day, low of pre-market. I always draw a box. Okay, I always draw a box. I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, so the open. I'm gonna pan this out here for you. So the open, what we're looking for, I want to see the price crack the J lines before 9:30, guys. Okay, before 9:30. And the reason why I'm saying guys because I have like 2 or 3 traders that are asking me on how to explain the gap and crap more in depth, like on my thoughts on it. And like I'm saying, it's just my thoughts, and this is what I've learned through J. So the price cracks the J lines, and also we have the 9 EMA here that's following the price level. So at this point of the day here, I'm saying I got to load into this. I'm taking this first J line rejection. I have to. It's my obligation, okay? Or else Jay will kill me. Just joking. Then, oops, I hate working on my trackpad. I usually have a mouse. I'm outside here. So what I do is that I snapped it here, and I'm not loading. I'm going in very small, okay? Because at this point, me and the J lines here, when I do take this stuff here, to me, it's like jumping out of a plane. When you jump out of a plane, it's taking off, and you jump out, okay? You get that real rush, but then it doesn't last long, okay? I want to jump out the plane when I'm getting to the full altitude and then really benefiting from this like free falling, you know what I'm saying? So that's a nice setup here. So right then and there, I always scale out here on pre-market low because it's gonna bounce, okay? You've got these, these washout long traders that are waiting for this, okay, to find that support. So I'm trimming. So I'm actually selling to the breakout traders. So I trimmed and I put my stop break even. We're a few cents right over, okay? So this trade here, I got out. I got back in here small and I cut it right away because I just thought we saw some wicking here. Tape was very, the volume was lowering. And then I got back in and cut it to break even. Okay, I cut it because I saw wicking. So I nailed it here in this third wick. And then I was looking for the rollover sort of thing. I thought it was like an over the J lines and an under. That'll be a nice setup. But I cut it to break even. And then this is what I usually do before the open, okay? Like I was, okay, what are my levels to get into for the gap and extension? This is where it gets interesting. So we're looking for this consolidation area. I always put a box where it touched and like rebound. And if I pull a Fibonacci retracement, and I know Jay doesn't do this, but I do, it just gives me levels to look at. Okay, so I'm going to the pre-market high to the pre-market low. Boom, okay? I put the 50 and 61 retracement gold because this is my golden zone. I love getting into sizing into these areas here, and I'll explain to you in a second why and how I trade it. So I had a bit of FOMO here, in which I normally don't do, but I did that day. So I took a feeler here because this 38 retracement, it's like wick, wick, wick. I just said it happened to me on FRSX on Friday, and I'll show you later. So I'm looking into scale. So I put it on here. So I took it here. I saw tape like red, 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 red. So I said, oh, maybe it's going to roll over here. I was looking for that three wave, you know, 1, 2, trying to catch the top, and then lower bound, and then up, and then this would have been a nice three wave. I love patterns. I love trading patterns. But I put it on, small size, feeler, and then I took it off. I was literally risking like 6 cents. And it says, re-attack your golden zone. But let this thing prove to me that the golden zone here, which is gray box, I want to catch it backside. So it topped, and then it went red, 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 red. So I nailed it with a feeler, and then I added, and then it curled. You could have added on this pop here, but I was just so happy I got this here. So, and then it says, and at this point, I'm like trimming. We're approaching 10, you know, between 10, 10:30 here. So this could have like went and ramped back up, but it didn't. So I was really happy. That's what I'm saying, time decay. By 10, 10:30, I don't usually get in trades. Like I would have got in if it was like 10, 15, 10:30. If this did this move at 10:30, I wouldn't have taken it, okay? It's just my rules, and I gotta obey my rules. So I trimmed out half here. I drew this trend, so it's making a higher low, higher low, higher low. It's getting 10:30. So at this point of the stage, I'm saying, look, let me just put a stop in the money because I had a nice, 90-ish average up here. So I trimmed out half here. So let's just say if I had like still 500 shares, like I'm trimmed 500. I was in 1,000. I trimmed 500. So right here, I put 250 at 179, and I put another 250 at 181 or 182. I had another stop out here, risking my risk level. So my first hit, and then I didn't get my second one, which is a game I'm playing. You know, it's very risky. And then I trimmed out here. I could have waited for the 200 moving average, but this all in all was a nice trade, to be honest. And it did go to the 200, look, to the 200 moving average. And where did it go to the 200 average? Well, it was my pre-market low. Look at this. Went right to my pre-market low, and it touched the 200 moving average right here. So this is your typical gapping crap. So guys, take your first J-line rejection, but the price has to be well underneath, okay? Well underneath. You can't short the J-lines and cover here on the 200. The 200 is like right there. So look for pre-market low here, okay? And even if it did go here and curl, this is your get out. You have to get out on the reclaim of the J-lines. Well, let's just say you would have shorted here and it curled on the 3 minutes. You have to get out. You have to. You would have break even. You have to do this, okay? So this would have been the gap in crap if it would have like rejected, rolled over, and boom. But it didn't. This was a gap. Reclaim the J-lines. Then we're looking for an extension into the consolidation area. Look left, okay? Or pull a Fibonacci if you want. Look at these golden zones, but these kind of play out nicely. By 10, 10:30, if this is like my rule of thumb. If it's 10:30, at 10 o'clock, we have to be under the 200 moving average, this white line here, okay? So I want to see this boom, boom, come down and like roll over. But by 10:30, you know, we're making higher lows here, and we're reclaiming the J-line. So it made total sense for me to cut it here, because this thing could have ramped up and did that super zombie thing, you know, like the MIC guys say. The midday reclaim, like they say. So that was that for NBY. And guys, if you have any questions, you can ask me, okay? And also, I just wanted to show you what happened here. That fib, I really missed. I was like really sleepy here. Let me make this nicer. I was asleep, and it was just doing nothing. So, and I was also looking at another trade with Nico. So this came to my 38 here, and I totally missed it. I was just so upset. I wanted to, we were looking, because look at the price, over, under, over, under, over. So at this point, I know it's going to extend. I know I'm not going to take that J-line. We're there. So what I did is, I'm looking for this consolidation area, okay? Look, if you pull this to the left, this is where it consolidated the most, okay? Whoa, that happened. I hate my trackpad. Did I say that? So consolidation area, high, and the high, this is like the breakout level. So I was looking for this to nail into my golden zone here, like feeler like 190, 195, load. If it would have broke out of my golden zone here, I would have like been very hesitant to take it off, because if you would have that breakout $2, I want to see how this $2 would have reacted. If it were like punched over 200, I said, oh, we're gonna get those breakout traders and try to retest to a high day, and this could have been zombie on us. So I'm very fussy on this level here to like scale, add, and then I would have my stop like literally here. I have to. That's just, you have to trade risk management. You have to manage your risks. But it came up into my, and I was so upset on this. I was so upset. So it came up, the table was going green, 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 little red, 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 red. And then I was like, oh, fuck, you missed it. So what you have to do is I just waited for the J line crack, identified this low, came into the J lines, nailed it, and then I covered half here. I always cover. It's just me. It's just my style. I like covering, taking profit off the table, taking trimming, and literally I should have put a stop. I put my stop here to break even, 2 cents to break even, and I could have kept it a bit more room here. I had light size on. I don't know why. And Jay was saying, Sean, you could have recycled here, and I know. So this is my fault. Sorry, my mess up. My mess up I did on FRSX on Friday, and I could have been recycling, and I could have kept my stop break even, to be honest. Right here, boom, and it wouldn't even hit. So I could have took half here, risk half, and put my another risk here like I did on NBY, and have this thing go down to the 200 moving average on the 5-minute. So it was a nice, typically a nice all-day fader. So there you go, have it, guys. My little recap on the gap and crap. Time decay, 10-10-30. We have to be under the J lines. We have to be close to the 3 minutes J lines or under the 200 moving average, which is the same. And if you look at Gene, it was totally opposite. We were reclaiming. We're above the J lines. We're above the 3 minutes. It was past 10. Volume, we had 500,000 shares per minute on those candles, and then boom, 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 those 1 million candles came in. To me, it was like a no-brainer. This was like a let's go long situation, but I don't know how. So that's it, boys. Here you go. That's my recap on the gap and crap. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, hook me up, all right? Have a good one.